Ever noticed how some people command attention without ever raising their voice, while others shout and get ignored? For years, I thought respect meant fighting harder, arguing louder, defending every single point as if my life depended on it. Then came that afternoon in a conference room that shifted everything. I escalated my tone, convinced volume equaled authority. Everyone stopped talking, but not from respect. They were simply enduring me until I finished. That realization stung. Genuine authority doesn't stem from volume. It emerges from composure, from intentionality, from language so precise it demands acknowledgement. You earn respect by raising your wisdom, not your volume. Master this principle, and watch how colleagues, family, even strangers begin engaging with you differently. Today I'm revealing 5 expressions that, delivered at the proper moment, transform how people perceive you. Expressions radiating quiet power, the kind that stops conversations without force. Stay through phrase number 3, it revolutionized how I navigate disagreement forever. Epictetus taught us that events themselves hold no power. Our reactions define everything. Ancient Stoics recognized self-governance as the ultimate strength. They knew controlling language meant controlling outcomes. That's precisely what we'll explore today. I've stumbled countless times here, lost composure, reacted prematurely, carried regret afterward. Yet gradually a truth emerged. Emotional responses cost me respect. Reasoned responses earned it. The gap between those outcomes? Just a few heartbeats. The deliberate pause before speaking. Within that pause lives Stoic mastery. Let's explore the first expression. Expression 1. I hear what you're saying, though I see it differently. The inaugural time I employed this approach stands out vividly. I faced someone who monopolized every exchange. Previously, I'd have battled, justified, departed mentally drained. But something shifted internally. I listened fully, breathed deeply, then stated, I hear what you're saying, though I see it differently. Silence followed. Not because I'd won anything, but because I'd demonstrated mastery. This language communicates presence, composure, unwavering boundaries despite pressure. Stoic teaching calls this judgment divorced from emotion. You don't react impulsively, you respond deliberately. You don't chase victories, you maintain position. Endless justification becomes unnecessary. Acknowledging. Their perspective eliminates their compulsion to convince you. Calmly affirming your stance protects your autonomy. It sounds diplomatic, yet feels unmovable. Your first usage will reveal something powerful. People will hesitate, begin measuring their language around you. Expression 2. I find that unacceptable. This emerged after personal failure. Once I remained silent when someone disrespected a coworker. I avoided confrontation. But silence often registers as agreement. Reflecting later brought shame, not for their words, but for mine left unspoken. That day I committed to protecting dignity, mine and others, but with tranquility. When another situation arose, I calmly stated, I find that unacceptable. Nothing additional. No sermon, no rage, just calm certainty. That sufficed. They immediately reconsidered. Seneca wrote that self-respect generates respect from others. This expression draws boundaries invisibly. No explanations required for your discomfort. You simply declare your standard. Delivered firmly, this makes people recalibrate their tone, their humor, their entire approach because they've encountered someone anchored in self-worth. Expression 3. We should continue this when mutual respect is present. This changed everything for me. Years back, locked in argument with someone important, emotions peaked, words flew, pulse raced. I knew continuing meant saying something irreversible, so I stopped, inhaled, and said, we should continue this when mutual respect is present, then departed. Not easy. My pride craved the final word. Yet that silence became transformative. For the first time I understood withdrawal isn't weakness, it's intelligence. Epictetus taught that others' words lie beyond our control, but our responses remain ours always. Using this expression doesn't mean fleeing conflict. It means mastering it. You're establishing terms for when and how dialogue occurs. This disarms aggression instantly. It redirects focus from content to conduct. That's its power. It establishes respect as the prerequisite for any conversation with you. Initially, the other person appeared stunned. Later, they returned calmer, prepared for genuine exchange. That's when understanding arrived. Leading with respect eventually mirrors back. Expression 4, I choose not to engage with this further. Sometimes silence outclasses any argument. I discovered this after years attempting to convince the unconvincible. I'd repeat endlessly, hoping logic would prevail. Truth is, not every discussion deserves your presence. During one pointless exchange, I simply said, I choose not to engage with this further, and walked away. The peace afterward felt almost startling because I realized I owed nobody my emotional bandwidth. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the finest response to injury is becoming unlike the one who caused it. This expression embodies that wisdom. You needn't fight every battle. You simply choose your silence strategically. Saying this doesn't reject the person, it rejects disorder. That distinction creates power. It reminds you that protecting peace doesn't make you indifferent, it makes you intentional. Once mastered, people approach your time and presence differently because they sense your attention must be earned. Expression 5. That's one perspective I respect, though mine differs. The final expression balances courtesy with conviction. I employ this most frequently now. There was a period when I'd compromise beliefs to maintain harmony. I thought agreement made me compassionate, but it only made me forgettable. Then during discussion about something meaningful, I felt that familiar urge to nod and avoid tension. Instead, I said, that's one perspective I respect, though mine differs. They paused, and what surprised me most was what followed. They nodded respectfully because people detect when calmness springs from confidence. Seneca declared that living by reason equals living freely. This expression is freedom spoken aloud. It allows courtesy while preserving integrity. You acknowledge their position, that's empathy. But you affirm your truth, that's strength. That equilibrium earns authentic respect. When using this expression, disagreement no longer frightens you. You recognize it as evidence of independent thinking. Now you possess 5 expressions commanding respect without volume. I hear what you're saying, though I see it differently. I find that unacceptable. We should continue this when mutual respect is present. I choose not to engage with this further. That's one perspective I respect, though mine differs. Each sentence reflects something deeper. Self-mastery. They don't just alter others' perceptions, they transform your self-perception. Because learning to speak calmly under pressure proves you're no longer governed by impulse, but by wisdom. In a world rewarding noise, composure becomes radical. True respect isn't demanded, it's inspired. It begins with your speech, your word, selection, tone, and silence. Next time someone attempts provocation, remember this. Storms cannot move mountains. You don't need volume for strength. You need steadiness, clarity, unwavering presence. Here at Meditations Eternal, we explore speaking, thinking, and living with philosophical wisdom so you gain greater respect, deeper peace, and unshakable inner strength. If this resonated, hit that like button for Meditations Eternal and subscribe to continue this journey toward calm authority. Tell me in the comments which of these 5 expressions you'll try first. I read every response.